Okay, this video is for the Icom ID-52 Plus. I gave some of the essential settings. However, the ones I'm going to talk about now, I probably consider it the most essential settings. Yes, QRM is a problem, interference, but we're going to talk about your transmission audio quality and receiver, in particular transmission. I know towards the end we're going to talk about one area of QRM, emergency broadcasts, but for now, I don't know if you have noticed. I'm sure if you have, if you're on radio or use radio a lot, you'll be talking or listening to 2, 3, or more stations on a repeater or even simplex. And out of those, maybe 2 or 3, there's 1 or 2. The audio quality is bad. Very bassy, extremely bassy. Others, nice mid-range treble. And then another scenario, the person talking, his audio is so low, you turn up the volume. Let's say you're sitting at 5, you turn up to 10. And then the other station comes on, you got to turn down. That's irritating. And then, of course, that's on FM I'm talking about. On digital voice, unfortunately, some of the equipment, it's cheap, but so is the audio. But, it's not all you can afford, it's all you can afford. So I'm sure as ham radio operators, we live with it. Though it's not enjoyable. However, I don't think some people don't realize how easy it can be to fix that. And this is what I'm going to talk about. On the Icom ID-52, there is settings where you can, for example, if you have a very bassy voice, you could have your voice sound more mid-range and treble. On the other hand, to the married young ladies, you have a high-pitched voice on the radio, maybe okay off the radio, but on the radio, then there is an option where you can add a bit of bass, mid-range, or extra bass. Now, I've heard some people say, oh no, that's only for digital voice. Not according to Icom. In fact, the Icom 52A Plus has a treble setting that can be adjusted for both digital voice and FM modes during transmit. Okay. This setting will allow the user to fine-tune the audio quality of their transmission. In the ID-52, the treble setting is part of the transmit audio adjustments available, affecting how the high frequencies are transmitted in both digital voice and FM mode. Okay. How do you go about, well, not so much how you go about making those adjustments, but how do you test? Yes, you can get other people. I've heard listening on the side where a couple of stations are talking, or he comes in and he asks, how's my audio? Oh, your audio is great. I can barely hear him. While the person who says the audio is great is coming in really comfortable. So I guess there's variables involved. Maybe he has his receiver audio levels high, or in a habit of turning up the volumes with different stations. And I also noticed that it varies with radios. For example, if I was to compare my Icom ID-52 audio quality receive, I would say it's far better than the Icom 705, even though they're both great. But I find there is a better quality with the Icom ID-52, at least for my ears anyways. And, there's other factors involved. Perhaps you're using an exterior speaker on some of them. That could all change the value. I kind of find it funny when people are comparing two different models, Icom versus Kenwood or Yaesu or something of that sort, and they'll may say, "Oh yeah, the audio is way better than this brand or that brand," and judging from what I see, they're not making really fair comparisons. The default settings could be different from each radio, or the mic, or the person who's testing. He may have a preference to a bassier mid-range tone or another one to high tones. So it's not a fair comparison. And I kind of like the fact that Icom has given the option to match what you like, or what you will get the best reports when you transmit. You can also adjust the audio receive, not just transmit. In the receive, you have 3 options, while in transmit, you only have 2 options. In the receive, you have an optional deeper bass option. So there you go. So let me go through the settings. Oh, one more thing. Yeah, how do you test? Okay. Yeah, try different people. But you do have one option where you can get more of a unbiased view, or not affected by other people's equipment. The Icom ID-52, including the 705, and I'm sure many other radios, have a recording option. I would, for example, turn on the recording on my Icom 705, go on a simplex frequency where there's no activity, low power, and put her on and transmit. Walk around, try to talk low, which you may do often, or whatever level that you do talk, or when you're excited. Try the different ones. And then you have different settings. For the audio quality, there is also another option that you need to look at, and that's your transmit mic levels. By default on the Icom 52, I believe it's level 2. You got 4 levels. Again, depending on the person's voice and how he talks, try mic level 1, mic level 2, 3, and 4. I find on some station level 2 was nice for it. Another case where, level 3, perfect. Don't go to level 2, use level 3. I think in my case, level 3 is usually the one I get the best result. There was one case, someone like level 4, but again, he was probably a little bit noisy into the repeater. It helps. So there's other factors involved. So let me just show you the settings now. Okay, this is a little notation showing that your settings affect both transmit and receive. Of course, the first thing you need is a micro SD card into your transceiver. Otherwise, the recording will not work. And it says this function is continuously on even if the transceiver is turned off and then on again. And it says here that the recording pauses while no signal received and resumes when a signal is received. And I believe it's the true with transmit. If you're not receiving anything and talking away, it's not going to record. The minute you transmit, then it will start recording. So keep that in mind. Okay, you need, of course, an SD card into your transceiver. To get to the record menu, just hit menu. There's record. Hit record. And QFill recorder. Hit start. And now recording. And then hit stop. Okay, let's look at our receive treble. And you go to menu, set, and DV set, tone control. Okay, let's hit menu, settings, and digital voice settings. Let's scroll up to the top. Yeah, so it's at the bottom of the first page. And we'll be in the tone control, which is on top. Okay, this is the first one. Receive bass. I have it on normal. Again, it will depend on the user. Okay. We step back and receive basses next, so we don't have to go through the menu options. Okay, so we're in the same area, so no need to go to menu. Select treble. I have it on normal. Well, the next item, receive bass boost. In the same area. Go to receive bass boot. Okay, and I have it off. I guess my voice is deep enough. Okay. Okay, let's get into the transmission. Probably this is the most important part. Receive is a personal setting. And again, we've got digital voice, tone control, but TX transmit. Okay, let's go to transmit bass. Normal. I guess I haven't had too many complaints yet. This is the transmission treble adjustment. I know there's a few times I lowered my bass transmission, but not always. Okay, let's show you this one. And let's go to treble. I have it at normal. So, depending on your voice and conditions. This setting is in the function setting. And again, 1 to 4. Let's go to mic gain. This will be menu, settings, and we're going to go down to functions. And let's scroll to the top. Okay, let's look for mic eternal. I have it at 3. So far, it's proven to be better than 2. If you have an external microphone, which I do, default is 2, but I set it at 3 to test. Never got around to it yet. But from what I did test, it seems to be okay. And if you're using an external mic, which I happen to have one, but haven't really used it, again, you want to test with the recording because it can vary. And not that I have tested this yet, but when I do, that's the level I'll start with. And not only that, but you can compare the levels to internal and external using the recording. Okay, this emergency function is great during a disaster or something that requires help as soon as possible. However, it could be a big cause of QRM if you're not aware of. You're turning it on, thinking it will do something else. It will make noise on every radio regardless. So that's monitoring on this frequency. And it's also, there's a level, audio level that you can set. In fact, this level, I believe, will adjust the level that you receive if someone sends you a connection with your call sign. So keep that in mind. Okay, this menu, settings, and we go to DV function setting, and I believe it's all the way to the bottom. Emergency off. That's what you want. Your level, I have it set at 5. So, and if I want to turn this up, hold on. Oh yes, you turn. Okay, you turn the little knob on top. That what sets it. put it on that and see what it's like. Okay, that's it. It would be appreciated if you haven't subscribed to please subscribe, and thumbs up would be great. Have a nice day.